Welcome to episode 97 of Dropouts, where we just redid the intro because I already offended them. This week we got Josh Peck, who just booked a Christopher Nolan movie, so life's looking up for you. And then Joe, who has a dog who pays his bills. And he goes on hikes sometimes, so life is looking up.
Sometimes twice a day.
Twice a day with your hikes.
Yeah, check out my new Hokas. Shout out Hokas.
I'm surprised you even wear pants at this point, because the thighs must be immaculate.
I was just saying that outside. I don't even have to work them out.
Yeah.
They look. You want to touch them?
Well, not now, because it's
Later.
on camera, and then
but later,
implications
in private, behind closed doors.
My dog has found comfort in you.
Yeah, why me?
Because you're a dog person.
Yeah.
Josh is like, I understand that I have allergies, but I'm trying to play part in this.
Listen, I'm a 2 Zyrtec a day guy.
Yeah.
You?
Me too.
God bless.
Thank you so much.
Shout out antihistamine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's an excellent thing.
it is. I'm a Zyrtec girl too.
Why not? It's great. I'm like 300 days a year on Zyrtec. Yeah.
Every day of the year.
That can't be
You're
healthy,
keeping
right?
them in business. I mean, the stock prices.
Totally, and I don't mean to brag, but I was on a show for a year, a very canceled show called Turner and Hooch. And my little secret, because, you know, Hooch was played by a 150-pound dog, a French Mastiff.
Trust me, we've all seen it. Everybody raise their hands. Okay,
Yeah.
actually,
Wow.
I watched
I'm
the
so
first
sorry.
episode.
I have seen the other ones.
And I was literally at the audition thinking, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And then when I got the job, I was like, they're gonna find out I'm allergic to dogs, and then I'll be fired and I'll die. And
So you're just shooting that stuff up at that point.
yeah. Sometimes I would do, and I don't know if this is legal and or okay. I would do a cocktail of an Allegra and a Zyrtec.
Oh my
That was my day
God.
today.
I mean-
2 Zyrtecs in the morning, and then I didn't do it. I do Claritin as well.
I feel so seen.
Yeah, yeah.
You and I.
Based on your
It's
book,
lovely.
based on your book with your past drug use, this is the only positive from it is you know how to make the cocktail now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's the only drugs I'm allowed to legally take.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
How did you sweet boys meet and develop this relationship? Oh, look at the look. The look in the eyes.
Oh, the two of us?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it took a long time and a lot of texts that he didn't respond to at first, but we've got here.
Oh, you're a bad texter?
He's not a bad texter. He's bad at being friends with Joe because he doesn't want to. But yeah.
Early on, yes. I didn't know how much you would be, in service of my life. Then you were just a guy I met at a dinner who was like a little too nice.
I wished him Merry Christmas. No response.
Oh.
I'm Jewish.
Oh, you should.
Okay, so that's on you, Joe.
And you're welcome for World War II, by the way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Just a minute.
You're thanking me for it because I've been doing some research, and the war was sort of won by a bunch of Jew scientists.
Okay, thank us then.
We?
I want to be a part of it at least.
Are you part of the tribe?
I've
He's
been
not
friends. I'm like
Jewish.
my friend's Jewish.
He's like,
It's like the same thing.
I went to a bat mitzvah as a kid.
There we go.
Like that's
I
gotta
got
be
invited to
something.
one and I didn't go, so it's the same thing.
I'm circumcised, so
Mazel.
thank you.
Should we all go
So
show our
cute.
penises to each other and describe them in detail? No. How'd you guys meet?
Joe?
Josh got invited to a dinner, and then somehow I got weaseled in.
Okay.
And we ended up sitting right next to each other. And naturally, I was networking. It was like a month into moving to LA for me.
Oh, so you're prime network time.
Oh my God. And to be placed at a table with like the top 20 Viners, and I'm right next to Josh Peck.
What year was this?
17?
It was
16?
1884.
But I just networked my brain off, and then we ended up changing numbers, and then a few holidays and texts, and I got my way to hang out with him.
What was your affinity for Josh at the time? How did you know him? Like, was it Vine, or because were you too old for his shows when you were growing up, or no?
I was a big Josh Peck fan, so he's done a number of different pieces of art that I was a big fan of.
Pieces of art, I love it.
Grandfathered with John Stamos.
Yeah, I did like that one.
I watched that
I
religiously.
only watched it for John Stamos.
I watched it for Josh.
Yeah.
It's what everyone watched it for.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
why I was a part of it.
And then ATM was another movie that he did that I was a big fan of.
Don't
course.
act like you've seen it. Stop it. I haven't even seen it. I'm in it.
Oh, you said Max Keebler's Big Move. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So it's Max Keebler. Everyone thinks it's Max Keebler, like the cookie elves, but it's actually just Keeble.
Is that a big debate ananymore?
I don't know.
He's like, Twitter's been on fire about this. Trust me.
I can't believe I just gave that movie credit 25 years later. Like I'm still obsessed with it. I am.
You know, from the start, I've tried to play it cool. Like I don't know any of your past films and stuff, but I let it out with a Max Keebler whatever. But I mean, statistically, you know, I'm in your demographic, so that's just going to be a lie the whole time. Good job on the childhood. Thanks.
Anytime.
Okay, so you guys met. You're at the table. You're trying to weasel your way in. How'd you seal the deal?
He played it surprisingly smart, which was that he was very friendly, very jolly, and made it very clear that I needed him. And
I got you.
Oh, you need
So he manipulated you. Your ex must know him. Anyway, go ahead.
That's what Zach did in our friendship.
Cute.
Yeah.
He basically, and like any good stalker does, he basically was like, you don't know it yet, but you need me. And eventually, you're going to realize that, and I'll be right here where I've always been.
Good job.
It took like 5 months, but it finally happened.
Did you like write down at night, like, okay, this plan and this step, and then you're like putting the wires together? And
I did have a list with Josh's name on it. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. Manifesting.
Yes,
So
and it worked.
Yeah.
I got everybody on the list.
In what ways did he make you feel like you needed him?
He basically was like, you should get on YouTube because you'll make a lot of money, and I'll edit your videos for free until you realize you should be on YouTube.
Okay. There you go.
That's a great pitch.
That's a fantastic. That's kind of like how you got into it. You're
No,
just
I've
DM'd a bunch
read-
That's
of
how we
people.
became friends.
Cute.
Yeah.
Money is a great incentivizer for friendship. It is. I find.
Yeah. I just wish my dad would pay the.
Yeah, Joe, get on that.
Well,
His dad's name is Joe.
oh, that's
Yeah.
the joke.
And I'm
Oh, is
Joe.
And I don't see him. Oh, this is great. Absentee father, right?
Here,
And then
Present.
What was your father like?
Still married.
Wow.
just met him. Really nice guy.
And Jared, your father? Oh.
Don't know him, but for a different reason. I have 2 moms. So I was born through artificial insemination.
What? That is the coolest thing ever. Say more.
Say more? Well,
Yeah.
my father's name is CB270.
Hey,
Elon.
has a nice ring to it.
He was an extra in Star Wars.
Yeah. He was like the droid right next to 3PO, you know, when they were picking him off the ship.
Sounds like a radio call. I'm CB270.
And this has been Good Morning America. I just like, my mom went in and she was just like, I want to have a kid. I'm a gay single woman, you know, but I don't want to be with a man. And then she's like, pump me up. This guy sounds good. And 7 tries later, here I am.
It took 7 tries?
Yeah.
I think it's funny that I've said this before, that if your mom's credit card would have been declined that day, you wouldn't be here, and she has a receipt. She took you back like a CVS receipt.
There's a
That
30-day
is
guarantee, like, for a return
She
policy.
should have taken it back.
Are your moms still together?
Yeah, well, so my mom's wife now got married on my birthday when I was like 14 or 15.
That's a
and-
little bitchy.
No, it was my idea.
That's
it was
a
my
great
idea.
point.
That is a little bitchy.
It would have been if it wasn't my idea.
But
But
you're
Okay.
also like 6 years old. Like, what if you guys got in love on the day that I was born? They're like, hell yeah, I don't have to celebrate your birthday ever again. Let's do it.
Yeah.
basically, so they really took advantage of me, to be honest. But anyway, let's talk about your absentee father.
Wait,
or your
when you say 7 times, what does that mean? The guy they picked him out of a book. And
yeah,
then-
so literally they had a catalog. There's no pictures. It was all just like descriptions of these guys, like their height, weight, background. And then they had like a little questionnaire being like, why do you want to do this? What are your hobbies? Blah, blah, blah. And my mom was going between these 2 guys, and the nurse comes up. She like looks down. She's like, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, but CB270 is an absolute sweetheart. We love when he comes in. And then like my mom made up her mind right then and there.
And your mom was like, yeah, but is he hot?
But like just slide a little
Obviously,
picture.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, so and then the 7 times it was just like, you know, it was artificial insemination. So they like had his sperm frozen, and then it just didn't take for 6 times in a row. And then she just like kept going back. She's
That's
like,
expensive.
I want it is expensive.
It's very, very expensive.
It wasn't worth it, though.
But here's the funny thing. So my mom saw the podcast where Zach originally made the joke about getting her credit card declined, and she's like, "Oh, well, so actually the time that you took, they thought I was going to need like 2 sessions, so they never charged me for the first session where you actually took, and so I'm technically stolen property."
And besides your inability to get into heaven, like this is like, it's so great that you're here.
kidnapping.
But that is my mom and dad hooked up, and my dad had a whole other family, and just like a very well timed
Nice.
6-hour separation.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and my mom was 42, my dad was 62. So
When you were conceived?
yeah, some call me a mistake. I just say surprise. You know?
Your dad was 62 and still shooting
That's
out rounds,
Yeah,
live
he was
rounds
getting Medicare and chicks pregnant.
on that AARP plan.
Oh, IHOP was always half price. Oh, it's really, I don't know. I do have a bone to pick with you, Josh, because, well, a couple things I'm going to bring up, just rapid fire. The first thing that comes to mind is I feel like without having a father, it really helped you in your career because you had trauma to work off of to be the center of attention and really expand your career. And I don't know, it's just a
The
little
comedy too. The trauma help.
Yeah. It's just a little selfish that you're still in your son's life and knowing because now he'll never have the opportunity to be as great as you career wise. So are you thinking of leaving or?
I think that's a really fair point.
Yeah.
And I do worry that in an effort to be the opposite of my father to my beautiful son Max, that I'm making him a little soft
Yeah.
and a little helpless. Like I need to give him a little moxie. Sometimes I just scream him to wake in the morning. You know?
Just shake them.
Yeah. Or like I'll put like traps around the house, like a reverse Home Alone style. Just like keep him on his toes because he's gonna have to learn that the world is hard.
Yeah. But dad's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, dad's the safe space. What's it like kind of being a father? How is it different from the rest of your life? Did it unlock a new chapter of love or not to get too deep, but also I really want to.
It's really excellent. Are you toying with the idea? Not for a while. Guys?
I recently reached out to my dad, who I don't reach out to a lot, and I sent him a little gift. No matter what our past is, I was like, maybe we could have a relationship in the future. So I'm trying to learn some things here.
What'd you send?
I sent him some hot sauces, and like he actually like. I had to call him after I got him the hot sauces, and then he still didn't answer. And then I had to call him again. He's like, "Hey, thanks so much for the hot sauces. Like, I'm gonna try them on Sunday." And then he said he's gonna let me know how they are.
The way Zach
How's it-
lights up when he talked about communication with his father is just.
And I don't want to. I'm making this about me right now
I
because I'm
will
almost
say
in tears.
it is Monday, so did you?
You thought this was last Sunday? No, this was Sundays ago.
So you didn't hear?
We're Peppa.
No.
Solid. Will you give me a quick?
You're a father. Let's talk. How's breastfeeding for your wife?
Give me a quick catch up, like the 30-second catch up on the history of you and your dad, if you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Or not.
I know. I just thought we'd be interviewing you. Yeah. So this is what happened.
You
So
sort of led with it.
no. Single mom, raised. Dad was in the military. Didn't see him much. My mom went through a couple divorces. You know, it was just us growing up. And then my dad, we never had that solid relationship. And then, I was like, let's just try it out now. Let's see if we can get back into it. So we're gonna see, and we're gonna keep you guys updated. And if not, if you got a place in your family and your wife's willing, adoption's on the table for me.
Yes, happy to. And here's a nice silver lining. If you have a parent in the military, you can get a lot of benefits, like great insurance policies.
He wouldn't let me on it. He said I have to pay for my own stuff to make me more of a man.
Okay.
And every single time that I would see him, I don't want to make this about me, but this is my last thing I'm going to say. The moment I would see him every single time, because I only see him like once or twice a year, he would shave my head, military haircut, and I'd like to grow it out. So he's like, "You're going to be a real man," and he would shave it. And then the moment I saw him, like we wouldn't talk about anything really until I shaved my head. So a little bit of emotional trauma there. But movies, you've been in them. How's that going?
Sure, movies. Can you?
Okay.
Should you tattoo your scalp so the next time as he's like shaving your head?
Well, that's not going to
there's a
help
little message?
with me saying that I'm pro-Jew. If I do that, if I get a tattoo on the scalp with a shaved, it's just not.
You never know.
What?
That-
I said I'm against it. If you say you're against Nazis, that's so good.
It's usually always the right move.
Yeah.
Always the right
Yeah,
move.
it's usually the right. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're with a family member that we don't talk to in my family anymore.
You
anyway,
are you are from the border of Georgia and Florida.
they get after it.
It was the first time I'd ever been exposed to something like that, and it was like,
The insurance thing that Zach was talking about reminds me. So I was reading a little bit of like the beginning of your book. It reminds me.
Don't lie.
he lies.
No.
He looked up Spark Notes, but I hear you.
Totally okay.
Your mother took your father to court like kind of soon after you were born, like for alimony money, but then instead just paid
child support.
Child support, but instead just paid a lump sum.
Well, I think that he basically, once the moment that my mom told my dad that she was pregnant with me, he like turned from this slightly charming guy that she saw, you know, once or twice a year, but really didn't even know well enough to share a sandwich with, let alone a child.
Okay.
And he just turned into like, you know, someone she didn't know anymore.
Wow.
And so basically, like throughout that time, she was like, I went for a paternity test. It's yours. And he was like, I think you have a doctor who's a friend of yours who's on the take. And she was like, great, let's go to your doctor. And then she would show up at his doctor and basically he wouldn't even come because basically she called his bluff. So I'm born and he wants nothing to do with me. And so my mom's like, well, then it would be nice if you could support in some way.
Yeah.
They go to court and basically he like sidelines my mom and her lawyer with his lawyer and says, let's not have a paper trail here. No need to record this in the state of New York. Why don't I just give you like a lump sum that was, I mean, you know, in the 80s, it was probably like close to $100,000, but you know, that's not 18 years worth of taking care of a kid.
No.
And I think my mom was like, I'm not going to chase this guy for
Yeah.
the next 18 years. Took it, and that was it.
Wow.
Wow.
And then he was out.
You've never had any contact with him?
No, and he died. Dude, he really ended it on his terms.
But just once, though, right?
Yeah, just once, but he really sticks to things.
Yeah, he does.
And that's admirable.
Except for you, but yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
And Joe, I've been listening to a lot of the Male Models podcast. You have an interesting relationship with your parents where you would...
Or they're in your life?
Cool. Must be
you would
nice.
get in a lot of arguments and like a lot of door slams. So,
Yeah.
so has that relationship been any better?
No, my parents came to visit me this past weekend.
Did they?
How many door slams?
My dad did this one thing that I hated before I moved out. And every time when he'd come home, regardless of what time it was or how many people I had in my room or what I was doing in my room, he'd always walk past my room and go, Joe, I'm home. Did it? I was livid. So annoyed. It just made me so happy to move out.
So you're married, but in an alternate universe, and you have a girlfriend. Is that online?
Yeah, kind of.
is now.
There's a woman in your life.
He's a relationship guy.
Yeah.
Safe to assume.
Women are around you guys at times, but there's alternate universe where you guys are together
Oh.
and you guys are lovers.
Not
And-
that alternate.
Right here.
It's a long life, my friend.
Welcome to Earth.
A lot can happen.
It's true. And I was wondering, what would be the thing you guys got along with the most? Why would the relationship be good? And then what would be the cons? What would you guys fight about a
this is
lot if you were in a
I like
relationship
this.
together?
Food, for sure. We'd have the
Is
best
that pros
date
or cons?
nights.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah. We're both like hypersexual. Hyper
Cut to a clip.
Yeah. No, we got. Well, there's a lot we'd get on about.
We'd be a great gay couple.
But
Good.
I think we'd be one of those couples that does like CrossFit couples. Like
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
we would do too much together, and that would breed resentment.
Okay, so that's where the problems would come in.
Too much quality time.
Okay, so that's where the resentment would come in. Too much time together.
Where you? So you're from Australia,
I am. Born and raised.
a continent and a country.
Indeed.
Yeah, one and one. What part of Australia?
Perth, the West Coast.
We love the West Coast.
It's a little boring, I'll be honest. We don't.
Yeah.
But, well, we do. But
Sure.
it's
Do you hate if someone mistakes your accent for being
English.
from the UK?
Yes.
Why is that?
I do, because I think we both, I don't know. I don't know.
She was going somewhere. And then,
No, it's just like I don't know.
'cause that's not you. Say it with your chest
It's not
out.
me.
Yep.
Right.
That's not who I am.
Say, I'm from the Outback
I'm from
Steakhouse,
the
baby.
Outback. No.
Let's go.
I'm from the outback of Australia. I'm not from cup of tea country. And it's just like,
And yes, we're technically still a territory of the UK, but that's not us.
No.
Is the
We're
queen
the
still on
outlaws.
your money?
yes.
Yep,
We
okay.
are part of the
Disgusting.
Commonwealth.
Let's start a
So's Canada.
petition.
Yes. I have working rights almost everywhere. So I'm a citizen of the United States and I'm a citizen of Australia. So, woohoo.
Speaking of Australia, I want to get down to like the nuts and bolts of this. Where does the Outback Steakhouse rank in your chain restaurants?
Third,
Third.
for sure.
Really?
Oh my God.
That is
Bloomin'
high.
onion guy.
Lock us in with the bread.
Okay,
Where are we
what's-
going?
What's top two then?
1, 2, 3. Applebee's. 1, 2, 3. Chili's.
Oh, hell yeah.
Chili's.
Chili's is top 2. Okay.
We love Chili's.
Chili's has bottomless chips and dip. It's the best.
It is incredible.
3 for $10 special you honestly can't beat.
That is the best deal of all time.
And their chocolate lava cake. Have you had it?
Chocolate lava, anything, I'm in.
Okay, good. Because it's
Heavenly.
yeah.
It is.
Have you guys recently been to a Red Robin? Because I have a 3-year-old, so I get to go to all these places.
Bottomless fries.
I haven't actually. I need to go. Where's the nearest one?
The South Bay, Manhattan, Redondo Beach.
Really?
Is it worth
You
the
guys
drive?
drive over there?
Anywhere where their kids are, like Northridge, Manhattan Beach.
Okay. Yeah, I was going
My-
to say, I haven't been there since I was like 6 years old.
They have a
Yeah.
good promo. If you do your birthday, you get a free burger.
Really?
And bottomless fries.
Well, my birthday's coming up.
I've never been to a Red Robin.
Where does CPK live in this chain?
That lives pretty high for me.
high-end.
I really enjoy CPK.
I'd go top 20.
I'd go top 10.
I enjoy it every time I have it, but it never comes to my mind.
Doesn't speak to you.
Yeah.
The kids' bolognese, I mean, it's the perfect amount of pasta.
Right.
It's pretty good. And the spinach and artichoke dip is just next level to me.
Can we settle the debate right now in this room though while we're talking about food? In-N-Out Burger or Shake Shack? 'Cause
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Shack.
Really?
Yeah.
In and out.
I'm going to go Shake Shack.
Shake Shack. Wait, Joe,
gets
you're
it.
also from the East Coast. How are you going to betray Shake Shack? Like
We
that?
had one in New York, and that was it.
You guys got 1,000 now. They're all out here. Shake Shack.
In-N-Out's a way of
Don't
life,
go like
man.
this.
It's
In and
not
out
true.
is very good.
In-N-Out is very good. We love their Christian values. We love their fresh cut fries. But I won't wait in line for food.
It's not that long.
What are you talking
10
about? The
minutes.
In-N-Out down the street wraps around the block.
It literally, we went there the other day.
And
it
we
was,
waited for a long time.
It
Good
was
call.
like 10 minutes maximum. I think you're being a little dramatic.
Don't bring his son into this. But speaking about your son, is he the
Godfather?
Godfather?
No.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
there's-
100% no.
Why is that? Why would you not want him to take care of your child if you deceased?
in the Jewish religion, do you guys have godparents?
We don't. I mean,
that'd be why.
we do it as like a metaphor. Plus, my wife is Catholic, which,
Oh.
but technically,
Represent.
godparents,
Yes.
as you know, they're to walk you through Christ.
Yes, I have 4.
You know,
I have 4.
And my son is, Christ adjacent. We're down with Christ.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Christ, good Jewish kid. No,
Exactly.
Yes, he is.
So,
best.
I'd be down.
Top 10 Jewish kid. Jesus.
Yeah, Einstein, Christ.
Well, I'd say he's 4, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else?
You, 2,
Me, nice Jewish kid. Josh Gad, great.
3, and then 4, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jason Schwartzman, good actor.
And then the actor that plays the musical version of Jesus Christ Superstar, probably 6 or 7.
Somewhere in there.
So wait, why wouldn't you want him as your godfather? Where do you think he lacks in the parenthood?
I feel like I'd be really good.
Yeah, no. I'm down to clown. I think in future, as I have more children, hopefully, I think you would totally be a potential candidate.
Maybe for the second or third.
Are you currently trying or
Always.
just practicing right now? Or are you?
Yeah. The best part of having kids is making them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're constantly, seeing, where we're at, and it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because you got to pay her to do it again and all that.
My wife?
Yeah.
No, she's.
Oh, she's.
We're more on the barter.
Ah,
Trade.
It's a
Yeah.
give and take.
Like an Instagram story for no.
if you at me in this,
She having one kid is awesome, and then as soon as you have another kid, and I love to your question before, like kids are the only thing I think that's not overhyped in this world.
Yeah.
It actually
Really?
lives up to that. Oh yeah. It's great. You have time.
Trust me.
she's like, okay, I'll try tonight, but
Trust me. Kids are not on my agenda for at
like
least 10
2
years.
months.
Good
Oh.
for you. But I would say, but as soon as you have multiple children, then there's really nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Do you wish you had kids earlier?
I do, knowing how great it is, but I don't think I would have been as ready as when the thing about kids is you really have to be over brunch. Like you have to really be over going to yoga at noon.
Oh, okay.
And I did enough of that. Like
Yeah.
by the time I was 32, so I can really be into my
Are
kid.
you 32?
No, I'm 35, but I had my son at 32.
You look great.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
And again, you're 20, but you do look
I'm
great.
actually 19. I turned 20 this year.
What's that like?
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
You seem to have it really together.
I do my best.
You do. You have a great
Thanks.
ensemble on. You're a lovely
you.
person.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You have an animal that you will look out for.
I do. That kind of just got thrown onto me, but yeah, he's alive, isn't he?
Yeah, it's well.
He is. He's sleeping. He's the laziest dog I've ever met in my life.
But speaking of looking good, are you mad at the actor that played Neville Longbottom?
Why?
Because he stole his whole thing. Like he went from a little bit of a larger kid to kind of like a heartthrob.
I don't know about little bit.
A sex appeal. It's a sex appeal.
Neville or me?
Well, really both. Like he went from he wasn't a sex icon to a sex icon, and you kind of did the same thing. But first, were you like, come on, this was my whole shtick?
No. I think we're very even in that way. But I think amongst, I mean, it is a term. No one's saying that they pecked, but a lot of people are saying they long bottomed.
I'll peck that long bottom right now.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
I think so. I have a confession to make.
Ooh, we love it.
Whoa, T.
Well, it's not that tea. It's actually a little bit embarrassing. For the longest time, I kept calling the show Josh and Drake.
She hasn't seen it.
I watched an episode
The other night.
the other night for the first time,
Oh boy.
and
Which one?
It was the bet where
bet
you
when
guys,
you guys,
Drake had to give off junk food and you had to give off video games.
yes,
Classic.
Classic.
yeah, no, it
So
was very
good.
good. I love shows like that. Like it really brings nostalgia that I haven't even experienced. So I
And
don't
it's
know
weird
why.
for him because normally people don't bring up this show.
Yeah.
So this is like the
So
weirdest.
it's this little show called Drake. Shit.
No, it's nice because I feel like it's one of those deep cuts that I don't get to explore anymore.
Yeah.
Well, but I've never seen it. I literally don't know anything about it because being raised in Australia, you have to buy this special package to be able to get Nickelodeon or Disney or anything like that. So I never grew up with any of those shows. So I watched it and could not believe that was you.
yeah,
I
him
could
and
not
him and
believe
Drake hanging out every day. Let's move on though.
You know, Drake and Josh is like all well and cool, but I really want to talk about Red Dawn. I think that movie is criminally underrated. I loved that movie.
I'm so glad the table is there because when he talks about Red Dawn, his Red Rocket is out to play.
You were.
What? The dog in the room? It's just we're using references everybody can make sense of. All right, go ahead, Jared. Geek
That
out
is
for a second.
Such an empowering movie. And I cry every time when Chris Hemsworth dies, you know?
Dude,
Thanks for
spoiler
ruining
alert.
it.
It came out in 2012. It's 10 years
I don't
old.
care.
Okay, the world almost ended then. It was a big year for all of us. Let's
But,
just-
Joe, I think you can agree with me. You brought.
Super fan.
I love that movie. And the soundtrack with Lupe Fiasco. Oh my God.
Changed my life.
Yeah, literally though.
Yeah.
You know, because then that movie came out and you're this like stud that is like able to play Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Which doesn't make sense.
But it does.
God
It-
bless the casting director, but man, she might have had a couple.
No, it does. 'Cause then
Cataracts.
I looked at that. I grew up chubby as a kid. I was like 250, you know, like growing up.
Really?
And you're the
250 on a
sole
slim day.
reason
You were 250?
Yeah. I lost a bunch of weight because I saw you and I was like, oh my God, he looks great. He used to look like this and now he looks like this.
Thank
so
you.
He's
I
gonna
wanna
live a
say thank
longer
you for
life
that.
because of you.
He no longer has the nickname FJ.
Fat Jared.
We didn't give it to him.
God, that's so, I mean, so literal. Couldn't they have been a little more fun with it?
Yeah, guys, couldn't you have been a little more fun with it?
Come up with that.
You reiterate it.
Like double J, like Jiggly Jared. You know, JJ.
I kind of like JJ Jiggly.
Yeah, that's
Hold on, let me get my notes app out. Any more? Go ahead.
That is great.
Yeah. Jesus, Jared.
Okay, good for the
Write
Jew
these
thing.
down. Write these down.
This
Yeah.
is great.
Kids used to have fun ones for me too when I was overweight as a
Ooh,
kid.
what were your favorites?
Fat fuck.
Very literal as well. You
That
know?
one hurt.
Did
That
your
one
wife ever let that slip out like while you're in the
mid coitus.
it turns you on because you like shame? You're like, yeah, remind me of my past self.
Yeah. I couldn't control myself. No fruit snack was safe.
Wait, Joe, what?
That was at the Jewish Community Center of all places. Like you'd think he'd be safe there. But no.
Oh
They
no.
called you fat fuck then?
Yeah, emotional warfare. I was 8 years old, and I remember that moment distinctly. Talk about it in the book because I was like, "Oh, life's gonna be hard like this."
Do you remember his name?
No, but the kid was a real jerk. And by the way, wanted to be my friend after. I'm like, you can't just be throwing around fat fucks and then expect to like play my
it was
Nintendo.
it was an endearing thing.
I don't know. I think you know how like every kid was bipolar growing up, basically.
Yeah.
So like they could be like the vicious, most mean person ever, and then they'd be like, "I'm coming over later," right? Like
I'm kind of like that now.
I had a few of those. You're definitely like that.
What was your Nintendo 64 go-to game?
GoldenEye.
Oh, that's
we've
a
got
good one.
we've got that here.
No way.
Yeah.
You guys are doing well. This is a big podcast.
Yeah. I mean, Pokemon Stadium was my go-to. Absolutely.
I never did that.
Were you a child that had some weight on him, some lbs?
Yeah, I was 230.
You were
You guys, look at this. I can't
Okay.
hang out because I always wanted to gain weight, but you guys could hang out.
What's that like, wanting or needing to gain weight?
It's okay. It's the I feel bad, but I was the opposite. I didn't take off my shirt at pool parties because I thought I was too skinny.
Oh, what a problem.
No, it is because I'm on his side. Like I literally, I don't know if this.
It's. I mean, I don't want to say it's. I mean, I've heard things like, "Wow, I wish I could be you," and like things that were. 'Cause that was damaging because I don't want to be above anyone.
Oh, he's so hot.
He's the hottest. Man, what a body, chiseled like a king. No, I was, dude. If the wind blew south, I was going south as well.
yeah.
Like the wind would pick us up.
Being a girl on that end of things, though, especially, it was like I'd literally have teachers come up to me being like, "Are you anorexic?" Do you know how like damaging that is as a child?
Well, I was in weight room classes in middle school, and I had to work out with the girls, and that was you know how damaging it is to be the giant guys like lifting weights, and then they had to take off weights because the other girl was benching more than me, 75 pounds, 7th grade.
What was her name? Diane. Sounds like a Linda.
Definitely.
Rhonda.
Let's just say she played softball.
That's Did you have to drink those carnation, like the weight gaining shakes? Because that was always a dream for me.
Yeah, those always tasted so good too. I had to sip with my friends.
I've got protein in there that's 1,800 calories per shake.
You take mass gainer?
That I try to.
He couldn't stomach it.
I couldn't stomach it.
Of course you couldn't.
But
Yeah,
where
it's disgusting. It leaves you lethargic all day.
What's it like to stop eating when you're full?
Yeah, I'm just.
Have you guys ever forgotten to eat a meal? Like, oh man, I forgot to eat
All
lunch.
the time. I haven't eaten yet today.
Joe, you?
Never.
JJ?
No.
It happens all the time.
But okay, I was gonna ask, right? Because you guys are like some of the biggest foodies out there, right?
Oh, I want to be on a mukbang so bad. I texted him
I
about it
want to
today.
be on a mukbang so bad.
How does that work in your guys' lives?
I want to be in a mukbang. Joe hasn't done a mukbang with me recently. What's that about?
Do you do mukbangs?
Yeah, all the time.
Does he?
Do we
is
do
mukbang.
mukbang?
We should do a Chili's one.
Literally,
Oh, hold on. I think we just found something.
The chips and dip, the queso, the potato.
Oh, have you had their
soup.
queso dip?
I think so.
Oh my,
Yeah, it's
next
good.
level.
Their chips are just like literally to
The
die
best,
for.
Yeah.
But like, okay, where does food fit in your life? Like, how do you manage your guys' weight with like and your addiction to food? Because trust me, I understand.
We hike a lot.
You do hike a lot.
We hike a lot. I actually don't know. Like, my approach is it's the one big meal thing. So I like lead up to that. Maybe we're doing a yogurt for breakfast. Maybe a protein bar max. And then
Again,
hit
his
a
kid.
workout
We get
before.
it. All right, so little meals, and then you don't mind going big every day at the end of the day, or is there a cheat day a week?
Is it midday? Do you eat big lunch or big dinner?
Usually, I wouldn't want to go hard body karate after 5 p.m. because my body's not going to digest it in time. I'm going to have all those discomfort feelings in bed. You don't want to be farty and married. It's not good. As just a fun fact for anyone who's asking, I know you guys are, don't ever get comfortable enough to fart in front of your spouse.
Oh, really?
Never. Just excuse yourself.
I thought that was like the benchmark to hit though. Is like once you're comfortable enough to fart in front of somebody.
What are you into, Jared?
Okay, an accident
We call that a queef
happens.
whistle where I'm from. Anyway, go on.
If it's an accident and it just like slips out and you're just like, oh, sorry, that's my bad. But like, if you know it's coming, like, please just go away. It's gross.
It is.
It is. Thank you so much. I hate it. You know what else I hate?
What?
That us three have gotten you two have gotten comfortable enough to start retching burping in front of me,
That's
and
different.
I hate it.
It's different.
I hate it.
Because
stop doing it.
No, because we get the phone out and then we test our decimal levels to see who wins.
Disgusting.
And that's the child in us. And let us. Okay. I also wanted to ask.
Or Dave's hot
agree with
mukbang.
Oh, one time he had to go to the hospital. He ate too much spice.
Are
Yeah.
you
From
serious?
Dave's Hot?
Really?
Yeah, no, I went to an urgent care, but I was ready to go to a hospital.
What spice level was it?
Not. Listen, I
wasn't
break out in a
that bad.
sweat at like Tabasco, so I'm not
Okay,
the one.
I feel that.
And for days, I would have these searing stomach pains, and I was actually on the way to do a mukbang that day with Joe,
Josh never cancels.
and I canceled. like I was literally on the street with the food in my hands, and Joe pulls up, and I go, "This isn't happening today. I'm going to the doctor."
Oh my God.
And I had to go see the guy, and he did a full blood panel. And I'm literally like getting these email reports throughout the day going, "Josh, it seems that your stomach levels are okay after your hot chicken mukbang." Like, I'm going to lose my health insurance. Blue Cross is going to be like, "You're an idiot. We're not paying for this."
I could put Dave's hot chicken in my lungs. I love it
Yeah, so
too
it's
much.
good.
Yeah, Dave's Hot around here is like a religious meal. Like that is
It is. We all like gather. The lights are dim.
What's the
Holding
order,
him.
guys? What's the
Okay,
order?
I go a number 1. I go medium heat because I think
Tell
it's
the
the
people what a number 1 is.
Okay, number 1 is 2 chicken tenders with fries, and I go medium heat because hot can sometimes be too hot,
it's
and medium has just enough heat and flavor, and you got to get a ton of extra sauce.
Do you eat the bread?
I don't eat the bread. Usually,
I
Andy
eat
will,
his
or,
bread.
no, or Jared will consume.
I
my
get
bread.
the number 3, which is the slider, no pickles, no cheese, with the extra tender and fries. And I give my extra tender to Zach, and then I just eat the slider and the fries.
And
That's how we do it.
I also get the number 1, but instead also medium heat. But instead of the fries,
Medium
I like
heat
to replace it with the mac and cheese.
What about you guys?
That's a big move.
Because then he eats the fries that we don't have.
Exactly.
Sure.
We have a good system.
What's your guys' order?
Double tender, extra hot.
Extra,
hot?
No, maybe just hot.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He's like, okay, I edged him, but
What's yours?
Yeah, I would just go all tenders all the time.
Yeah.
I might go like 4 or 5 tenders and no sides.
Wow.
no, that's great.
Oh.
Honestly,
That's
yeah, I've done that
protein.
before.
Have you guys ever had the sliders?
No, because it's just bread.
It's just
No,
yeah.
it's not.
It's a tender with bread.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
got the coleslaw in it. It has a certain salt. Oh, it's great.
It's got the same sauce.
Yeah, it's just a different shape.
Oh, and I'm not a sauce girl. I don't use the Dave Hots. I'm a honey girl.
Oh.
It's lovely.
Gross,
I love
but
a sweet.
ooh.
Yeah, I love a sweet and salty.
I can't get behind it yet.
Sweet and
but-
salty popcorn. Absolutely
No.
incredible.
You haven't had
Like a
kettle corn
kettle
yet.
corn?
You got it.
I have
You never
it.
had?
No.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
So we got to go to a
Dash
county
that
fair
now.
now.
I'm sorry. You guys have some incredible things. A corn dog?
That's your
Yeah.
list of incredible things. A corn dog.
Onion rings?
I'm just not with you on this
Onion
list.
rings are incredible. When I first had them for the first time, it was a religious experience, like Dave's Hot was.
I've never seen this much passion. This is
It
beautiful. to
is.
see.
It was incredible.
You don't have them in Perth, in Australia?
Not like
Not like the way we do it.
No, either not like the way that we do it, or like they're
we do
not
it
common.
with trans fats. That's
Yes.
why.
But also like not common there.
Do you Tim Tam hard over there?
I love a good Tim Tam.
Yeah.
It's a Tim Tam.
Best way to drink it though,
Milk.
bite off the corners,
Yeah.
opposite ends like that, like a diagonal. You suck it like a straw, and then you suck milk through it. Becomes chocolate milk.
I've
It's
heard
incredible.
That's a good call.
It is very good.
And when we have the mukbang, I gotta hype you up for a second. This girl right here makes the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever had. Wow. A beautiful doughy, gooey middle. That's what I like. And she'll have to bring them at some point. But to talk about mukbangs and online content, when I first saw, well, Joe, I first saw you online probably like 4 years ago.
Chat roulette. Never mind.
Oh yeah. You were the, what was it, 6-incher? Yeah.
9.
Yeah. and then Josh.
If that were true, Joe, I would feel like I didn't know you at all.
If I just had a mass.
If I caught you, like, if I like danced you and I was like, we'd have to end the podcast. I couldn't be in the same room with you. I'd be like, no, not fair.
Just a forearm of.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I would say it doesn't track. It doesn't track.
And then Josh, I saw you. I think your first social presence. I saw you on maybe Vine back in the day, and I saw it because I was like, okay, everything's going this way. Everything's going to go digital, and you were one of the first kind of people that were mainstream actors that were also doing social media. And I was like, okay, this is really smart. But I'm wondering, at the time, from your peers, did you get any backlash of like, this is diminishing you and your acting career, or did you kind of see, no, the world's going this way, I'm going to like diversify my assets a little bit?
100%.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, I had like a couple 100,000 followers, but I was like at this inflection point with Vine where I could have like really leaned in, or I could have walked away and maybe no one would have remembered that I did it. And I remember I got a call from my agent and manager who were like, what are you doing? Like, we're trying to make you not just the goofy guy from Drake and Josh. And I was like, good job, guys. When's that going to happen? and like, does this hurt us? You being kind of a weirdo in your car and shooting these videos and I was lucky to have a buddy named Rami who was in social media. I mean, this is 2013, so like The Rock doesn't have 300 million followers yet. Like no one's, you know, you just didn't see a lot of people from the traditional space really embrace it quite yet. And my buddy was like, listen, don't let anybody tell you that they know what this is because I work in it and even I don't know. But being able to go straight to your followers, having hundreds of thousands of people who like tell you what they like, don't like, and everything in between, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So do this, like do it every day. And I just leaned in because my whole life before that was I had to get 5 people to give me permission to act.
Yeah.
You know, a casting director, a producer, director.
That's terrible.
I was like always at the mercy of the gatekeepers. And suddenly I could go straight to the audience and I was like, this feels right. And if I don't judge it, if I just go, maybe my job's to make stuff no matter the format, then I was in good shape. And thank God I leaned in. It allowed me to.
And that's kind of where your guys' crossover really happened. Because when did it go from, all right, this guy's editing for me to, hey, we're going to start a podcast. We're besties. We're going to be in love for the rest of our lives.
Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I'm really good at talking off camera. That's my favorite thing to do.
Just not on camera. You're just like, no, that's not. I mean, it's how I make a living, but terrible at it.
Well, I have to do it now, but I always love being behind the camera because I like navigating where the story is kind of going.
No, because I always noticed that about you, Joe. You felt like you were curating a lot of your friends' content, and I saw you behind the camera a lot. But I was like, all right, this guy's really funny. So I didn't know if you were being put in a pigeonhole of something you didn't enjoy, and you were doing it for money, or you had to do it for a job, or is being behind the camera something you like really enjoy and still like to do?
I still really enjoy it, but that's how I got started behind the camera. And even when I would make YouTube videos like 10 years ago, I'd always direct my friends and tell them what to do and where to go.
It's a wonderful thing because when you're good at it, especially and when people like Josh are looking for something like that, when you could provide a service, especially if it's free, I feel like that's how I got into this whole thing. That's how a lot of people get in. Like if you can provide somebody a service, like I can fill a hole that you need help with. I feel like that's shout out your mom. I feel like that's
Which one?
Both. But yeah, that's a cool thing. So it was very interesting how you guys became friends, and then how's the podcast been going?
It's great. Male Models Podcast.
Check it out. Now available everywhere on Spotify and Apple Pod.
Are you guys gonna do video?
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I
Ooh,
feel like it's
models.
male models, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We don't want to
well.
give them everything yet.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like male model audio. I think that's kind of the funniest part of it. It's like we're so hot, but you don't get to see us.
No.
It's slow burn.
Yeah.
I know you know.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like I think that I believe Joe, if he had his druthers, if he had his like choice of what he'd do, he would be a real estate mogul who directs a movie once every 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
He'd basically be Christopher Nolan, but also with a real estate business in
That's
Scottsdale,
so-
Arizona.
Are you interested in like directing like full feature films?
No, I've always loved internet. Internet's always been my favorite thing to do.
What's your
Yeah.
what's your ultimate goal when it comes to?
Ryan's Toys, right?
If I could work my way up to him.
I would just make trillions.
Vlad and Nikki.
Oh my God. Get new Fisher Price reviews.
Does Max love that
Yeah.
stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He loves
What's
Blippi.
with that? Why do kids love watching kids play with toys?
Oh my gosh, he's a big Ryan's toy review guy. He's loves you. He's a huge dude, perfect guy, trick shots.
Oh, that's
loves it.
great. Yeah.
But you have to be careful with the YouTube
Yeah.
stuff with your kid because you also like have to remember that a lot of these kids, right? Like kid shows in general, right? They go through so many like different levels of clearances,
Yeah.
right? There's so many people thinking like, do we want to project this to the young minds of tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then sometimes he'll watch like, 2 7-year-olds who have their own show on YouTube, but like no one has
Yeah.
been looking through this except their parents who are like, make that money, baby. And so he'll start emulating these kids. I'm like, no, you're turning into a little jerk.
Well,
wow.
it's very interesting the kids that are growing up these days because, like, honestly, we grew up with shows like your show where there were checks and balances of what's okay for kids to watch and what's not okay for kids to watch. And I feel like now it's the Wild West. Every kid now wants to be a social media person, YouTuber, and their famous people are a lot of TikTokers that certain ones there aren't really doing much that might inspire the soul besides I want to be famous for the sake of being famous. So I just wonder like what the social climate will be when kids grow up and want to get into the entertainment business when entertainment has changed so much. I don't know about your take on how kids are developing what they see online and who they look up to now compared to like when we were all young.
Yeah, I think there's just no separation, right? Like you have to embrace both sides of it. And the people like Kevin Hart and The Rock, like movie stars inherently know that. And the movie stars who don't embrace it, I think they've had enough time sort of in traditional where they're like, yeah, I'm already established enough. But the next, the next Leonardo DiCaprio of tomorrow, right? No matter how brilliant, how attractive they were, I don't think if they're 18 right now, they can be like, I'm just not going to do Instagram. They'll do it. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just organic growth now. I mean, I can get 10 million views sitting in my bedroom on a TikTok and where like a movie struggling to get 1 million. I don't know. It's crazy just the production value that's in our phones now.
But we also have to be cognizant of like, people want to be fed all the time, right? Like they enjoy good food, but they'll take fast food.
Yeah.
And I think mostly social media content is fast food.
Oh, 100%.
Right? They're like, well, at least I'm not hungry anymore. But the things that live, the things that people remember are those great meals, are those movies that have the production.
Well, I think that's kind of what is deteriorating a lot of people's attention spans right now because we're not looking for content anymore. You go on a TikTok, you go on an Instagram, you're shown what you are now not searching anything that you want to watch. It's now being shown to you and you're being sucked into the cycle, like loop. Like I have to turn off my brain now because I can just go here and I'll be fed. Like you open the app, a video starts playing. It's like, okay, this is what I'm consuming. It's like they're not making those conscious choices anymore. Whereas like movies, they're my favorite thing in the world. Jared, I didn't tell you, this is a kind of cool thing to bring up, but I secured my first director for a movie I wrote today.
Did you
like
really?
I made the call.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So like those are I want to know how to get people excited about those things still again because a lot of kids aren't going to the movies as much, aren't watching as much as the effort that's being put into these movies. So
yeah, but I think especially like as you mentioned at the top of the spot, like I have an incredibly small part in this Chris Nolan movie. And it's the only thing people have cared to talk about because he has accrued enough of that goodwill where people are like, oh, in your hands, I'm going to be taken on a great experience.
Yeah.
It's like a great journey.
I mean, he's the modern day, any great actor. I mean, for people that don't know, like the peak, I feel like for an actor's life right now is being in a Christopher Nolan movie. So when you got that call, Josh, Joe, when you got that, when he told you, how did you feel? Let's go to you first. You're like, yeah, pretty good. When are we gonna do this mukbang?
I think Joe might have felt a sense of accomplishment too. Why, Joe?
I got him the job.
Did you?
Wait, whoa, what?
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh.
What?
You think we did research? We bought a book and said we read it. Come on.
Okay, I need to hear this.
I have read.
No, we have read. It's actually.
None of the pages are dog-eared.
Wait. The book is great and go buy it. We actually do love it.
Thank you.
Hopefully that came off very disingenuous. That was very genuine.
No, I liked it.
Okay.
You gotta, whoever is like putting you in Barnes and Noble, they're doing a great job because this was front and center.
Was it?
Yeah, front and center.
Shout out Barnes and Noble.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I need to hear this story. How did you get him a
Yeah,
Christopher
Joe.
Nolan movie?
I love. See, God,
This is
value,
great.
Joe. Value.
Value.
One of the perks of being friends with Josh is you get to do the script reads for him when he has a role that he's
Okay.
trying to get.
Oh.
And Josh came by with a script one day, and it was for a Christopher Nolan movie.
Sick.
Wow.
And
The
there
pressure.
There we were in the downstairs of my house.
Oh, doing the self-tape?
First of all, shout out COVID. No more in-person auditions.
Isn't that absolutely amazing?
Oh no,
Sure.
I'll sit here with an audition forever just
It's
to make
incredible.
it perfect. It's great. But okay, so yeah, you read the lines and he got it.
So Josh needed someone to read the lines with. There I was.
Yeah.
Cute little me.
Yeah.
Sitting on the other side of the script behind the camera where I'm home.
First take, Joe stumbled on a couple words. I'll be honest.
Really took me out of my
He's just like,
character.
I like the Dark Knight. I mean,
Second take, same thing. Third take.
Yeah.
This is where Josh said, if you want, you can direct me a little bit.
I knew he had one in the can. This one was just for fun.
I love when we do that. Just do this one for fun. We have one.
is that the
Go for
take
it.
you used?
It was.
What
Wow.
are we allowed to ask? Well, we don't get any details, but what were the kind of small notes you gave him?
I don't remember, but just like the regular, like,
He's like, what if you didn't spike the camera?
Spit on me. Yeah. No, it was just like regular feedback. Anyone would have said, like,
Like, no,
No,
Joe.
No, Joe.
You're the reason Christopher Nolan makes good movies.
It was just like an experimental one. Let's try this for fun. Same thing what he said.
Yeah.
But that was the one that he submitted. And then a few weeks later, we got the call that we got it.
That's
So
sick.
I like that you say we. No, but it is. I help a bunch of friends with self-tapes, and I help like some of my management's clients do some self-tapes and stuff, which I find so incredible because I get to be more on the directing side of things, which I'm getting more into. And I feel a sense of accomplishment when somebody else books something that I helped to self-tape with. I'm like,
Dude.
yes.
Jared self-taped me when I booked that Apple TV show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, you're the
I'm
best.
your Joe.
And I don't like really filming it with anybody else but you now because I feel like it's good luck.
You also did a self-tape with me for that I got like 3 callbacks on. Do you remember that?
Didn't get it, so
The-
it doesn't matter.
The guitar, remember?
Oh yeah, I played
didn't get
guitar
it,
in her
but-
self tape.
Yeah. But
Do you direct them at all? Like, will
A
you
little
say,
bit,
"Oh,
yeah. Like
He'll do like good job or
no,
just
I
tons of stuff.
give you notes.
Oh, you
I
gave
say,
me more than that, sweet boy.
What?
the sweetest."
can I getting the call that you've booked something is, I think, at least for me, is one of the most incredible experiences I think an actor can ever feel personally for me.
Yes.
It's like the adrenaline rush that you get, like no matter how big or small the project is. Well, for me, it's like the best thing in the world. How did you feel when you got the call that you booked the Christopher Nolan movie?
So being an actor is like being a gambling addict. In that most of your life will be losing.
Yes.
The data suggests, right? Like
Yeah.
the odds are, no matter what, no matter if you win the World Series of Poker again and again, most of your life will be you lost, even if eventually you leave the casino with money. So it is those wins that keep you going. But as you guys know, for me, it's like the best part of it is the 24 hours after you get that call that you got it. Because every moment after that is, oh Lord, I have to do it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Now I have to go do this. And that's a whole other.
Have you guys, when do you start?
We're in the middle.
Oh.
We're going to learn the whole plot. He's going to tell us off camera, I swear. Okay, listen to this cast. This is a tweet, so it might be wrong. Look at this. Harry Styles.
Nope.
Cut this out.
Wrong movie.
Cut it out.
It's in a tweet.
Well, the tweet's wrong, apparently.
Wait, Cillian Murphy? He's got to be in it.
Can you
Yes,
talk about
Emily,
this?
yeah,
I don't
Emily,
know.
Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr. Well, it's on IMDb too. Matt Damon. Oh. And Josh Peck.
Joe Vulpis. I know. I agree. It is what,
No.
What sticks
That's
out
wild.
here?
Do you know
what sticks
you're
out
the
here?
person I was most excited to see in that tweet
Thank you.
because you deserve it.
Because it's like when when a guy who like is injured finishes the race. They're like,
everybody
you know
else.
what? He's 12th, but he finished.
Oh, no, my buddy in high school, he was also had a couple of LBs on him, but he went into cross country and he was last by like 20 minutes. And he's like a funny guy. He doesn't like attention too much though. And he's the last one coming up after everyone finished and everyone stayed to clap for him. He's like, that was the worst feeling in my entire life. And so
It's like when you trip and everyone's staring at you to get up to make
Oh,
sure you're
yeah.
okay.
You're like, oh, I would much rather people just absolutely die
Ignore me.
themselves laughing. No, I'd rather them laugh. Because ignoring is just worse. Because I'm like, I know you just saw what I did. Like, I was getting into Valley one time and I opened the door on my face. It was really quite embarrassing. And then everyone's like, are you good? I'm like, please just let me die. Just let me die. I'd much rather you laugh at me. Laugh, please.
you were recently on the Burt Kreischer podcast. That's one of our favorite comedians. And I was listening to a podcast where he talked about his bit that everyone brings up no matter what. He did this bit called The Machine. It's a stand-up bit. It's this story. No matter where he goes for the rest of his life, they talk about it. And I know that Drake and Josh is that for you, but he sees it as, like that. Like I'll have to talk about it for the rest of my life because like I'm thankful for it. But do you ever are you just over it at times? Are you just like, come on?
No, I mean, at 35, I'm actually pretty proud of it. But certainly throughout my life, I think because it was so associated with being like overweight. And
Yeah.
I always make the joke like that everyone has their awkward teenage years and then they swear their family to secrecy and burn their yearbooks.
But yours is out on the internet
yeah.
for millions.
It's in reruns. So I think in an effort of like wanting to let go of my origin story and not being just like the funny fat guy and all of these things, I was like running from it for a lot of my 20s. And it was only like when I embraced it and saw that like families really enjoyed it. And that's rare too, right? Because everything's either like some Netflix show that the parents watch after the kids go to sleep, or it's some kid show that the parents are like, I'm going to throw myself out a window if my kid watches.
Are you at least getting residuals yet?
Zero residge.
Yes.
Zero.
Makes you work harder.
Bang.
Was that in the contract when you had to sign it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I was 14.
You were 14 when you shot that?
yeah.
Really?
Is it syndicated, technically?
No, because I don't think we had enough. Like, I don't think it's sold to other networks, but it is sold worldwide.
If it did, would you have been paid from that?
No.
Really? Kids TV?
I think I have a Game Boy game I've never seen money for.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm on Nintendo. And I've never,
Have you ever played it?
it's probably a shitty game. No.
He's like, what do you mean? He puts it in his pocket. No, well, that's.
Did you? I have a question. Whilst you were filming that, did you realize it was going to be?
He's like, first time I've heard this. Let me think about it.
Sorry, sorry, but did you realize it was going to be what it is today? Like, did you realize that you were going to shape so many?
Sorry, Kim Possible.
Did you?
Wrong network.
Did you realize you were going to shape so many kids and it was going to be this thing that they remembered and they just found nostalgia in their entire lives? Like, did you realize that?
No way. I just thought we were doing this thing that was like, and it wasn't even popular when we made it. I mean, it was, but it was popular to 10-year-olds. Like, so I was 16 going home after a full day of shooting and like sitting in my 2-bedroom apartment with my buddy watching hockey. Like, it was
Who's
this-
your team?
Kings.
I'm a Golden Knights fan. Keep going.
It's not a bad team to be a fan of,
No.
especially they're pretty new.
Yeah, I mean, the first year was amazing. We won't get into hockey. We
Wait,
go ahead.
wait. Speaking of sports, though, when I was listening to Male Models, it kind of surprised me. Are you guys big WWE fans?
Yeah.
Really?
Who's your wrestler?
Yeah. Who's your top wrestler? Who's your top diva?
1, 2, 3. Jeff
Stone
Hardy.
Cold.
1,
Jeff
2.
Hardy?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because I'm not gonna go mainstream and say The Rock. Like, go a little down the list.
He was a WWE fan.
Who's your favorite diva? 1, 2, 3. Trish
Sable.
Stratus.
What'd you guys think of Logan Paul's debut?
Wait, you just said not mainstream, and then you said Trish Stratus.
China,
Well, this-
R.I.P.
Oh,
Joni Lauer. Her that was her government name.
Really?
Yeah, Joni Lauer.
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, she was pretty awesome.
See, I never watched it growing up, but it was a big Xbox game for me and my friends.
They were the
game.
best games to play
They were
4-player?
Yeah. And my go-to was always The Miz.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I think I just liked the name. I was
Formerly
like The Miz.
of Real World Road Rules Challenge.
Yes, sir.
Fame. Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting. Speaking of sports, but anyway.
What'd you think of Logan Paul's debut?
I didn't watch it. Did
He
you?
was on WWE.
He was at WrestleMania.
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Should've
Get
been
you out
Josh.
there, Josh and Joe. Oh
my
you guys
God.
make a
Oh
great
my
team.
God.
First the Dudley Boys.
What would your duo name be?
JJ.
JJ, there we go.
The JJs.
The Dave's Hot Chicken. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll
Dave's
get a
Hot
name.
Boys.
Dave's Hot Boys.
Dave's Hot Boys. I was gonna. World's oldest person died today, 119 years old. So
Way to bring the mood down.
listen, I wanted to talk about it.
You want to
Okay.
live that long, guys?
No.
No, I'm thinking another year max. Your son.
Yeah, I don't need. I think that's greedy.
Well, okay, here's my thing. I've always said I wanted to live to 103 because I was born in 98, and that would put me in 3 centuries.
That's what I said.
Wow.
Yep. So that's 103, and then like the moment I can just
Oh, I'll take you out. Let's do it. Oh, we could do it as a spectacle.
yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, hey, Suicide Pact right now, all of us. Indeed, you can live a little longer because you haven't lived as much life, but the rest of us, let's take us out. Huh? After
always
the
said-
movie, though, Legacy.
Yes, I
Yeah.
want to expire at a fast food chain thinking White Castle.
Oh, I love White Castle.
I grew up on it.
Dude,
Have you had?
You've never had
Yes,
it.
I have indeed.
I apologize.
Thank
Wow.
you. I spent like a month and a half in Chicago.
Have you had crystals?
Culver's?
I
yeah,
love
Culver's.
Culver's. Culver's chicken tenders. Those I think I could eat every day.
Yeah.
Those are very good.
Have you had it?
No, Culver's?
Yeah. Blue logo. Really good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
Their cheese curds, very good.
I'm in.
Yeah, right there. Just add it to the mukbang menu.
Have you guys ever done the real big guy move of going to like multiple restaurants and sort of making a perfect plate with whatever
Yeah.
that fast food restaurant shines at? I'll start. I would sometimes go and get like chicken nuggets from McDonald's, classic.
Classic.
Then maybe like crisp cut fries from like a Carl's Jr.
Ooh.
Then I'm heading over for a burger from Wendy's. Never
I
frozen.
love a good Baconator.
Baconator, great double bake.
I think they've got probably the best burger, but
Wendy's?
you got to eat them so fast.
Really?
They get cold quickly. Okay, go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. And then like desserts a toss up, depending on like maybe I'll go get like some fried churros, like churro bites from Jack in the Box. Maybe I'll go get a caramel apple empanada from Taco Bell. I don't know.
I didn't even know they had that.
Whoa.
What do you think? Are you a
That's
frosty
like some
man?
Secret.
Sure, I'm
menu.
a frosty man.
Okay,
Yeah,
but not
I
as
love
much as the empanada with the stuff.
the caramel apple empanada. And I don't know if it's currently in rotation at Taco Bell, but the times I think it's once a year they'll let that dessert fly, and it's
Wait,
It's a dream.
boys, hear me out. Does this ring a bell? It was probably 10 years ago. Burger King Cine Minis.
Yes.
Did you guys have them?
Oh, yeah.
of course I did.
I think those were
course I
a
did.
cultural phenomenon, and I don't know why they haven't brought them back. Can you write an email or something? I feel like you got some pull.
to
Joe?
the king.
to the
Yeah.
king.
I'm friends with the Bell. I'm not friends with the King.
Okay, but the Bell does have Cinnabon, like the little balls with the
With the
icing.
cream cheese?
The delights.
Yes.
Those are
It's
good.
not the same,
Yeah.
but it is Cinnabon at least, you know, so that's
want-
something.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
Colonel Sanders, the Colonel, used to work at Wendy's.
What?
Wow.
Really?
Started his fried chicken chain. And
In
then,
his 60s, right? Late in life.
He started
there's still hope
KFC in
for
his
all.
60s?
and you want to know what turned
Never too
KFC
late.
around?
What?
Instead of selling the chicken, however, in a bag, they put it in the bucket.
That honestly, great marketing ploy.
Oh my god.
My granny currently lives in the town in Kentucky where the very first one was, and half of it's a house, half of it's a KFC.
Really?
And nothing's better than attending that establishment.
You know how like there's a metric for knowing where the economy is at any given time of knowing the price of a gallon of milk?
Yeah.
What do you guys think a bucket, like a family size, let's call it 18-piece bucket of fried
18
chicken
piece.
is?
Okay.
That's a
At
lot.
KFC? Should we do 12-piece? We can do 12.
Okay. Well,
Let's look it up.
Let's do 12 piece. Wait. Before you look it up, can
Okay.
you lock in your answer?
Okay, yes. I'm going to go $34
Whoa!
for an 18-piece.
Are you serious?
Oh, wait.
Maybe-
Are we doing 12 or 18?
What?
Does this come with
This
the
is your
sides?
podcast.
Does this come
No.
with
If you want to do
sides or is it-
18,
We'll do 18.
I just didn't know they had 18. So we got 18?
Let's do 12.
Let's do
to
two.
be safe.
Okay, 12.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go 28.
Does this come with sides? It's just the
28.
chicken.
Yeah.
28 fucking dollars for chicken?
Maybe.
Damn.
Okay, go.
I was really lowballing it.
What are you
There's
thinking?
some
Oh,
frequencies
okay.
in there.
I'm gonna say
I love that you're thinking about it.
$17.99.
Okay, no, I don't think that's a terrible guess.
By the way, should I check on like a DoorDash app or actually just try
Sometimes
to?
they hike up the prices on there.
I'm going to do pickup.
Okay.
So that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
good
like
call.
the okay.
Okay, Joe.
Good stuff. Good
Don't
stuff,
you look
guys.
over, Joe.
I've never heard of an 18-piece bucket of family. Whoa.
We're doing 12 now.
We're doing 12. How many sides?
No sides.
No sides.
sides.
No
Just the bucket.
sides.
This is a family of 4?
Yeah, but the dad's probably not going to be there long.
Okay. Maybe 3?
Not if it's us, right, guys?
Exactly.
Hey,
Hey,
Joe and I still have our dads.
Shout out our dads.
Thank you.
$19.99.
that's a good one. That's a good
I was
That's
going to
good.
be, I'll go $22.99.
It's weird there's no sides. We should put a side.
No sides.
I'm gonna.
No sides.
That's weird.
Okay, I'm gonna go $1. No, we're not on that show. Okay, I'm gonna go $16.99.
Really? For a family of 4?
Come on.
You're
you
high.
you said 12?
I said $19.99.
Okay, my heart tells me $23.99, but I'm gonna go $16.99. I just want to.
$16.99, $19.99. What was yours?
$22.99.
$22.99.
That's really good.
$17.99.
13.
17.
$17.99. What was mine? Like 36.
30. You said like 32.
No. You did like 24 because
It was-
after the 12 piece.
No, I think I did.
You-
no,
you
It
did
was
like
like
$34.99.
No, you said
No,
28.
it's 28.
$28.99. Brrr, $26.99.
Wow.
I was $10 off.
Wow.
Oh my
Is
god.
very expensive.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that expensive.
That would not feed all of us.
No.
That is
we need 2
very
buckets.
expensive.
Yeah, and you can either get a standard bucket or drums and thighs. Fun fact.
Where would you go?
I'm going standard. I like the white meat.
I'm going drums.
You're allowed.
Okay. You know what I love about you?
Tell me.
I feel genuinely seen and appreciated with my own decisions. I do.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I do. I
I
really
feel
do.
the
Joe?
opposite.
I
No?
this is gonna be not to get a little deep, but you really just changed my perspective on social media. Like genuinely fully changed, like 360 changed my perspective on social media.
What was your opinion before?
So I got into social media via my acting. I did like this YouTube show that like in some ways was like obviously nowhere near as big as what's it called? Drake and Josh.
You gotta love that though. It's gotta make you feel good a little bit. He's like, finally, someone.
Sorry, but like
A little gun? Great.
I was like, the show was really popular among like 10-year-olds, and like we're getting like 10, 12, 15 million views an episode, but like it was really
Half of those
popular.
were my uncle, but keep going.
It was really he does love that show.
No, not that uncle. Oh, my uncle got mad at me for making a pedophile joke. Not my Uncle Ryan. He's
But
great.
Uncle Ryan does like that show.
Yes, but not.
Whatever. Anyway.
He called me, got mad for the pedophile
I know,
joke.
sorry.
Okay.
But I always felt it weird because I was like, I would come home and like nobody my age would know anything I'm doing. And like, and then I tried to, social media started growing with it. And I just felt like it was stupid because I was like, oh, like everyone's just going to see me as an influencer. And I never knew like how to really navigate that correctly. And you're right, acting, I am still always held at the mercy of the gatekeepers, the casting directors, the network, everything. And what you just said was I get to create something on my own without being held accountable to those gatekeepers and those people. Literally just changed my perspective so insanely much because I'm like, oh, he's so right. I get to do what I love without anyone telling me what to do. Like I never thought of it that way, but you're so right. Like I can put out the content that I love and I get to do what I love to do without anyone telling me what I need to do or what. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was
Thank
really,
you, Josh.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I really appreciate that. Like that genuinely just changed my entire perspective on it.
We as artists need to be there for each other.
He's like, only on this podcast we're promoting, but off this, please don't text me.
I won't be reachable.
No, ask Joe.
But it is. It's a weird. You know, we sign up for a weird life with like the potential of like some really great highs. But while you're in the fight, we really need each other to be like,
No.
this is rough.
It is. It's very, very, very rough. And I think the most gut wrenching part is like, it's kind of like the gambling thing where you get like 4 out of the 5 numbers because like you'll get so close to booking something that can be life changing. Like especially for me, I've gotten so close to so many things, and it at the last
It
minute
was
is
actually
just
your
like,
role in the
was.
Christopher Nolan movie.
Yes, it was.
I get that.
And then Joe helped out, and now it's all.
Yeah. And then
Shoulda
at the
got
last
Joe.
minute, they will just crush your soul and spirit by being like, we're actually going to go cast someone else. And you're like, okay, but I'm going to go through all this again like tomorrow because I have another audition. But like,
And by the way, one thing you'll realize too, and it took me forever, is like it's not personal.
It's
in
not.
almost every like there's so many times where I'll audition for something and I'll be like, it was line number 4. I had a little pause. It was weird. And that was the one
Yeah.
that they realized this guy sucks. When in reality, and like my acting coach has said this to me, she's like, you just auditioned for CSI North Hollywood. Like literally 11 people could have played the role that you auditioned for. Like this isn't Hamlet. Like you could have like, it could have been you. It could have been like 10 other guys. They were literally picking a flavor at that point of like, who worked best in the picture that they were creating. But we don't know that, right? Because we're like, no. I was literally in
was
my
me.
room.
It was all me.
Yeah, you're like, I was in my room the last 5 days, like not only practicing, but imagining what I was going to eat from catering day 1 of when I get the job.
Do you have any more pros and cons from traditional entertainment to also social media? Like what's good in both aspects and what's maybe bad in both aspects?
I think, look, the great thing about social media is that if you're driven, you can literally be as productive as you want to. And like sort of the direct result of that can be like the opportunity to make money, get security. But there's also no excuses. Like
there's no boss, which is tough.
No boss. There's no nepotism. You don't need to be in LA or New York. You don't need an agent or a manager. Like if you have a phone, you have enough video capability to record yourself, and that's it. So there's no excuse other than like you were too tired or lazy.
Yeah.
And then with traditional, like, yeah, again, there's so much streaming. There's so many projects and opportunities out there, but still you have to be okay with the fact that like, it's not a points-based sport, you know? It's like subjective. And what you think is really great, someone can think is whack. And that can be maddening. And I've seen plenty of actors who've come before me and will come after who like got driven crazy by this business. And granted, we're not, you know, saving the world here, but like that I was so grateful to have social media because that was what gave me the security to be like, hey, let's get married to my wife, or like, let's have a kid. Because I knew that if this was a dry pilot season and I didn't book like NCIS Toledo, like, I would still be able to like pay the bills.
Yeah, and then for Joe as well, because I mean, it's really hard to find as many people that are as consistent as Joe when it comes to social media. I mean, the guy posts all the time. He helps his friends. Like, very commendable when it comes to just social media in general. I was wondering how, I guess both of you set your own schedule and what motivates you and how do you find your ideas? And then at any point it's like, am I doing this for just the job? Am I doing this because I like it? Like, what inspires you or keeps you going in that aspect? Obviously, besides the money, because, I mean, you got to pay the bills, but...
Free stuff. Joe loves free stuff.
That was one of the reasons why I wanted to be in front of the camera.
What was your best free stuff?
Oh God, a motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
You got a free motorcycle?
And then I just got an e-bike.
What? Oh, I want to play on that, please.
And bathing suits.
Oh, okay, a little less cool than the...
These are some of my favorite things. I got a car once.
What?
What?
Whole ass car?
To keep?
Kind of.
You got it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Lease.
Acura gave me a brand new car when I didn't. Actually, I don't know if they didn't know I didn't have a license, but I didn't even have a license.
You also weren't old enough to drive. So
I don't know. I was 16.
Oh, it's all right. You just had a post?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think...
Shout out Acura.
I know. Hey, the best brand, I think one of the best
here
brands
we
I've ever
go.
worked. No, not even, like, you can cut this out if you want, not sponsored.
No, we'll keep
Best
it.
brand I've ever worked with. They love working with people with families because they're aiming for, like, the family market. Like, seriously, like,
Paige looking
get
for a
in touch
car?
with
I'm a
them.
big fan of Acura now and forever. Shout out Acura.
The RDX, great family car, great for going on hikes because
Where are you reading this from?
Maybe
No,
the
I know
greatest.
this because I had to have I had this big brand meeting with them telling me about all their stuff to make sure that I wanted to be a part of this thing. RDX is great. If you guys like to go hiking, it's got an off-roading mode.
I just imagine them being like, we brought you here to see if you want to be a part of this thing. And you go, is it free? Still free, right?
And I was like,
I guess.
I was like, are you giving me a free car? They were like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
I think the other thing too is just the experiences and just doing a lot of fun stuff, and it kind of just rounds you out as a person. So I have a little trouble going to do stuff, but if I have a camera in my hand, I can do anything. And
Really?
and I think having that camera by my side forces me to go do.
Oh, that'd be
things
good.
that
Now,
I-
if I ever ask you to hang out, I'm like, bring the camera. You're like, yeah, definitely.
literally.
Do you guys? Okay, so you came from a friend group that was obviously the most famous on the planet at some point and still is, and then one of the shows most famous on the planet. How do you kind of test out people who are just social climbers versus somebody you maybe want to work with in the space, and like, who do you genuinely get along with in this space and not just trying to use you?
I've always been a small circle guy.
Yeah.
So not that I wouldn't let people in, but
No, I genuinely noticed that when I first met you, because I didn't like, I obviously liked your work and things like that, but I didn't want to pry. I was like, this guy's very like to himself. Like, he'll make the jokes, but I can tell that you're very private.
yeah.
But yeah, how do you guys like find friends that you can trust? I guess I could say.
I need this advice.
I mean, I think you guys could speak to it better than I could in the sense of, I feel like I mean, I'm lucky. I'm 35. Like, I grew up in LA, so I have like a lot of good buddies that I've known for like the last 20 years. But also, like, if you can't tell right away with someone, most people can't keep up a front for too long.
Yeah.
Like, they'll show their hand, even if it's the fourth or fifth time you hang out. And there's also like a seasonality to it too. Like, people can be, they don't have to be your best friend, but like, not like a mutual usership, but you just like sort of relegate that person to like, okay, like in these circumstances, our relationship works.
Yeah.
But I can't trust them with everything, right?
That makes sense.
Do you guys get a lot of that? Social climbers, cloud chasers.
I mean, I'm the last year's really when I guess my social media has kind of taken off, and I've done so with just these two in the room. So that's been kind of the benefit. Like, I don't make videos with many people other than these two because it is that trust thing, and I just write jokes. That's all I really do and film with these two. But I think Indiana could probably speak to it a little bit more than I can because you've even recently found girls that were just using you for.
Yeah, it sucks.
Name them.
This
My mom.
Rachel.
I started in this industry when I was like 13 or 14. And so I already had 1 million followers by the age of, I think, 15 or something. And so like, that's a lot of people on your back at such a young age. And it gave me a really, really weird perception of people because I was like, wait, now I don't know if you're here because you actually enjoy who I am as a person or if you're just trying to get something out of me now.
And you were at the age when social media was popping off and kids actually, they looked at something to inspire to be. They're like, oh, I could be this. Maybe I could hang out with this person. And I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was like, especially like I hadn't established those true and honest friendships yet because I was still establishing what those people are. I was still learning how to establish that. And so when something like 1 million followers gets put on your back and then people are fake to you because they're like, oh, like she can give me something, it really screws with your deception. It screws with how you know what's real and what's not. And I think that that's why at the beginning of even our friendship, which started like 2 years ago or something, like it took a lot for me to open up truly to them, even though I had so much going on inside and I really needed these two in my life.
And like, we'll always be there for you as long as you tag us.
Yeah. But like, I needed these two in my life more than anything in the world. And I didn't know how to like reach out and be like, okay, you are those people that I can trust and be with. And so, yeah, no, it was really, really, really hard. And I still deal with it to this day. Like literally even a couple of days ago, I found out that a friend of mine, like it kind of was just all like click, 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 click. And you're like, oh, like that sucks. Like that really sucks. And so it's been really cool in the last like couple of weeks. Like I've made newer friends like Mariah, which has been really, really cool because I'm like, oh, she's somebody that like understands what I'm going through, but like she's so incredibly nice and what you see is what you get. And so I'm learning to establish these friendships and learning how to trust people that should be trusted. You know what I mean? So,
and Mariah's from Staten Island. And they don't mess around.
No, they don't.
You know
and we're
what I'm
both
saying?
Italian, so
Similar
it's like
eyebrows.
Yeah, yeah. I literally think that I'm like, oh, she's like my older sister. I'm like, yay.
But I find that to be true. Like, and having been with my wife for the last almost 11 years, and we've been married for 5. You know, I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe that that's like lust at first sight or attachment at first sight.
Infatuation, just,
yeah. But like love is shown to you over time where you are basically like life will test your partner, your friends, and it's how they show up for you that shows whether or not they're of value. Like, I'm like, you want to know what love is? Like, love is when you have a bad food poisoning episode, when you go to your local favorite chain restaurant, which we won't name because we don't want to slander anyone, and that person doesn't judge you while they listen to some terrible sounds coming from the bathroom and like literally like Postmates you saltines and Gatorade.
Oh, that's
you want to talk
love.
about deep love?
I would have
That's love.
proposed on the spot.
Yeah.
Josh, you just described okay, I got, during a really stressful time, my body was beginning to shut down on itself, and I literally at least
She had a boyfriend that kidnapped her. This whole thing we had like actually, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
Christ.
Let's not bring him into this.
Yeah, let's go.
Because this was not a superstar thing.
Should we go beat it? Can we beat him up?
Well, he
Definitely.
punched,
I mean,
okay.
I'm Josh from Drake and Josh, so I can't.
But my body was shutting down on itself, and I literally once a week would absolutely be passing out, throwing up, like disgustingly throwing up, so sick at least once a week. And these two were by my side every single time, holding my hair back, ordering me Gatorade, like that. Jared got punched in the face for me.
I did.
You did?
Got
Yeah,
punched
by
in the
her
face
crazy
by
ex.
my crazy ex-boyfriend. Got punched in the face for me. The amount of times I've had mental breakdowns in both of their laps, and they are still sitting here by my side, is like how I truly knew that like they had love for me. And that's where I realized I was like, these are people that I can trust, and these are people that I can put my love into. And like it has been like they have changed my life in ways that I cannot describe. Like in like, not to be like, oh my God. And like I'm also on my period, so like this might make me cry. But like sorry, it's just girl things. But like truly have opened up my eyes and changed my life completely. Like I'm a completely different person. I'm in such a healthier place than where I was 2 years ago. And it was because of little things like that, like holding my hair back when I was sick, literally picking me up and putting me in the car to drive me to the hospital because I was so sick. They were like, get in the car, even though I was like throwing up everywhere and was disgusting. So thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I don't mean to be insensitive. Could you cry for the thumbnail?
Oh, trust me.
No,
Yeah.
See, I knew when you and I started on Zyrtec, we get each other.
We do.
That's really beautiful, though.
Yeah.
That's so. What a nice thing that the three of you guys have. Like,
Yeah.
That's a lie, but besides that, yeah. I do want to stick up for Joe for a second.
please, more
so-
Joe, more Joe.
So the Kids' Choice Awards, you didn't take them.
Nah.
What the hell?
Because I have an actual human baby child
Who
the
has-
show is for.
But
He's 3.
I'm
he
not
go?
gonna perpetuate the bad habits of this Disney adult, my friend. Okay, I'm tired of infantilizing. Why don't you go get a job and eat a pork chop and be a man and drink whiskey?
No, we're about
be
to
a
have-
man, would you? Be a grown up.
we're about to have a Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. I'm your lawyer. And
Please, defend me.
Can I bring something up, Josh?
I hope you're good at mispronouncing things.
Hearsay.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Objection, conjecture.
Josh, who have you known longer? Your son
Boo.
or Joe?
Joe Vulpis.
So okay. And who has brought you more value for online content monetarily, Joe or your son?
Verdict's out on that one.
Well,
Yeah.
Hearsay.
Listen, my son is a views machine, and it's only because of me respecting his privacy and safety that I don't put him in stuff.
hearsay.
Kills me. Kills me.
Okay, I want to go back to my first point because that one didn't work. You've known him longer. Take him to the thing next time.
Okay.
Get an extra +1.
You're Josh Peck.
It's the first Kid's Choice since we're getting over a pandemic.
True.
There weren't a lot of extras.
He also
They
doesn't have
weren't.
your name tattooed on his forearm. He has his son's.
Not yet.
I noticed that. As a kid, I called the Kids' Choice Awards 36 times on my mom's landline, trying to get in because they were doing a promotion where they'd fly a kid out. And I feel like he had something to do with me not going, because they had to have told you that I called because you were facing Nickelodeon at that time. So I just want to know your rebuttal for me not being able to attend as well.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could also talk.
How old were you?
Doesn't matter. Too old, probably.
Maybe a little old.
Yeah.
22.
11th grade.
I also didn't like yogurt, and I bought Danimals just to hang out with Zach and Cody. So if you could talk to them, I know different channel.
Sure, fair enough.
Oh, and one thing I'll stick up for you and I. We both this last year auditioned for iCarly. So do we?
Yeah. You want to tell me what that's about?
Are we gonna write the email to Miranda or are you?
There's more seasons.
Yeah, there's more seasons. They don't love us. Okay.
How do you know that? Maybe you made a great
Maybe I
impression.
stuttered. Joe, you could do our auditions. Never mind, fixed. Don't even
Joe
talk to
could help
Miranda.
with the audition.
So
Don't
we'd
talk
like
to
to
Miranda.
know why you didn't put a good word in for us.
It's called nepotism, guys. Okay? But now that we all know each other, I'm going to start opening doors. Now, I don't have a lot of power in this business, but the doors that I can open, they're small doors. They're little mice doors.
They're little doggy doors we have to crawl through.
We can put a toe in.
Yeah.
As a kid, I went to Build-A-Bear when I first came to the US. I was about 8 years old. And you go to Build-A-Bear when you're a girl, yada, yada, yada. And you get to pick a sound to put in. And I put the iCarly sound in my...
Oh, funny. I thought you couldn't watch those shows.
I
It's funny how she picked one over the other.
Do you want to know the shows?
I
that-
lie sometimes.
I could watch 3 shows. 3 shows that shaped my childhood.
Home and Away.
No, but I could watch that.
It's a
Like-
Aussie
I was going to
soap
say, I
opera.
have no idea.
That's funny that you even know that show.
It's a staple, right?
It is a staple.
And every
Neighbours,
Australian actor
yeah.
starts on these
Starts
two.
on Home and Away or Neighbours.
And it's kind of soap opera-y.
It's the epitome of soap opera.
Cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, same character has been in there for 10 years, but like 10 different actors have played him.
Because when I did Red Dawn, it was with Chris Hemsworth and Isabel Lucas, great Australian actors.
Yes, they are.
And I had such a crush on Isabel Lucas, and I didn't make eye contact with her for all 4 months of filming. You
can't.
Because I was too
Hilarious.
intimidated.
Yeah.
And she played my girlfriend, which really helped her acting. Obviously, I was tense.
What was I going to say? But what was I saying? Oh, I could watch 3 things. Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana, and iCarly. Because those are the things you could buy on iTunes.
Well, he's got them all in a group chat probably, so you could see if he can include you.
we're like the Avengers.
Yeah.
I
Of
think-
just nostalgia.
yeah, I think
the
that
Avengers of
is-
nostalgia. Imagine the tour. Guys, Joe, you could direct it.
I'll go.
How many times in public do people yell at you in the streets? That's Eddie from Ice Age 5. Just once or twice.
Not a lot.
Not a lot? All right. I'm glad. God, we got one.
Another beef.
Oh, here we go.
Josh, you like to stifle Joe's chances of meeting really famous people a lot of times because you're too nervous.
I don't know if stifle's the word.
You famous cock block me.
I do that too.
You don't want other people to be happy?
No, I just get nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. How do you cock the block?
I just there was a chance to meet a young BB Rexa.
Blocked.
Blocked.
I just I treat famous people like the police on the road, right?
too.
Just drive the speed limit and don't make eye contact. It's a lot of pressure.
It is. It stresses
Also-
me out. I think they're gonna think I'm annoying.
He blocked me. He wasn't even where I was. I saw Frankie Muniz in Arizona.
Oh, we are on a huge Frankie Muniz kick right now.
I love him. Didn't say hi.
My favorite sitcom of all time.
1, 2, 3. Malcolm in the Middle. What?
I just wanted you to say because I love hearing it.
I love Malcolm in the Middle.
We've been watching that recently.
It's the best.
It's an annual
So much
thing.
better than Drake and Josh.
I make cookies.
So much better.
I make cookies and then we watch Malcolm.
Really? Can I come?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are welcome.
Next time I see Frank, I'll say hi for the 3 of us.
Can you
Wait,
make cookies and we watch something else?
He's like, what about Red Dawn or that Kibble movie? I forgot what it was called.
Kibble.
Kibble?
Just Keeble, just Keeble.
Max Kibble's big move.
Snow Day.
So they have been in. Yeah.
That's one thing I saw when I was really little that I've never seen again. It's the first movie I ever remember. I forgot you were in it, so I looked it up this morning.
Wow.
But isn't there a guy that like steals kids in it or something?
He stole me. I do get slightly kidnapped for a
Oh,
part
I
of it.
know
Wow,
him.
so we have that in common too.
Yeah, kidnappings.
Do you want to get into your kidnapping or?
Oh, I got kidnapped.
By your ex-boyfriend. Okay, walk us through.
Kind of got kidnapped.
Definitely.
Well, it's not like
Hostage.
kidnapping.
No, hostage.
Hostage.
I was a hostage. Well,
You're right.
yes, I was.
Where is this guy? In jail?
Should be.
No, he's got a song coming out soon. We should probably.
What song? Who is he?
There's not a whole. I had a very, very toxic relationship, and I came home one time and he was sitting in my room without me knowing. Like he'd broken in. He broke in quite a few times, but this particular time he
Broke in, like, did he have keys and just let himself
No,
in?
no,
Or, like,
he-
through a window?
He scaled the building.
He scaled the fire escape on the side of the building and got in through my balcony door that I must have left unlocked or something because I'm on the 3rd floor. I thought it was chill.
A lot of upper body strength, though, right? To, like, scale a fire.
I mean,
She had bought an very expensive sweater that she'd been saving up for, and then he peed in a toilet and stuffed it in there with the pee.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
he did.
And then
Could have just peed right on
Yeah.
it.
I was devastated.
trashed
about
the whole
that.
house. But anyway, you can go on.
He trashed the house. He ruined a lot of expensive things in my wardrobe. Like he took some of my most expensive things, like a sweater that I'd saved up for, and peed on it in a toilet. He destroyed my room, and so he had found something that he thought was somebody else's, and he was like, "Whose is this?" I was like, "That would be yours. That would literally be yours." And he'd be like, it just became a back and forth thing. And I was on my way to work, actually on set. I was on my
No,
way
this
to a
podcast.
set. Oh, was it?
Yeah,
On my way to the podcast.
because we have audio recording of it.
Oh, yes, we do. And I was like, okay, I got to go. I've got to be there. Like, I have to be there. Can't miss it. I need to go. We'll deal with this later. And he was like, you're not going anywhere. Became a back and forth thing until he would not let me leave the room. And it had been like an hour. At this point, I was already an hour late for the podcast or something. Would not let me leave this room. And so he starts destroying everything in the room until I like go and say something. And in my back pocket, I had my phone. And the last, like when he like quickly looked away, I looked down and hit Zach's phone. So I just had it in my back pocket and it was calling and they heard everything going on and came over and
Yeah, I could tell she didn't want me to say anything because he might hear it, so just wanted me to listen. So I just jetted over there in my truck and we kicked him out and threw it. Jared threw his suitcase over the balcony.
I did.
which ended up being my Samsonite suitcase.
I didn't know. Okay, she's like kicking him out because he would commute from like I don't know, up north or whatever. But she handed me the suitcase. She's like, take this out, like he's leaving. And I thought it was his. And so I just took it. I was like, I'm not dragging this down the stairs. So I just went out onto the balcony. I threw it onto the sidewalk and only to find out that it was hers. And it was a very expensive bag.
That's just.
You're just as
I
bad
mean, I
as
wasn't
him.
going to get it back. Let's be honest. I wasn't getting it back.
Which leads us to our first ad read for the episode. Away luggage.
And also Ring.
Yeah. It was a very, very trying time in my life. And then that's we're tipping the iceberg here at like situations that happen. But honestly,
He
it's
did have helicopters finding him another time, scaling her house and breaking in. And
Why
then-
is this man free?
look.
And did he punch you when you went to go break up the?
No,
This
that
is-
was
he was
that was on
stalking us
Halloween.
out
He
of a
was-
party for 3 hours.
Yeah, I went out there. They were arguing. I went out there and I was just like, "Hey, let's not do this. Like, we all just want to have
We
fun."
were we had every right in our minds to punch him square in the face and not even try and have a conversation. But you tried to have a conversation with him. Was like, dude, just go, and we're not gonna have problems. We won't call the cops. We won't do anything. Just all you need to do is put yourself in your Peaky Blinders costume into an Uber and leave.
Killian, he went as Killian.
Yeah, he looked great.
Anyway,
Really?
I was like, really?
Douchebag.
I didn't even.
Looked great.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
And
Was Cillian Murphy?
I just think it was so funny that like just the whole I'm happy I can laugh about it now. And like honestly, the trauma has given me so much comedy and it has given me so much to work on in my life.
I just want to say, I'm so sorry on behalf of men everywhere.
Thank you.
And I don't mean to gender it, but
Here we go.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
To all women about how stupid men are.
Oh yeah.
How they
Yeah.
can do. So many men are the worst.
This is going to sound really weird, but I feel genuinely very, very lucky because situations like that can go a whole lot worse and women never get out of them their entire lives. So I feel very lucky that I was able to find two people. Like,
Drake and Josh, what episode
how was
your
that?
favorite?
Sorry, it's a little bit of a deep conversation to have. I realize
It's
that. but
unbelievable.
it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I should write a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, oh, do you need an actor?
As someone who's totally monetized off their trauma, I suggest it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should start vlogging, doing mukbangs.
Hey guys, welcome back to the time I got kidnapped.
It's what this book is, monetizing off the tough times.
Exactly. If you don't like name your mukbang channel, either of you eat your feelings, you're missing out.
It's a
So
great title. I love that.
cheers, like noted.
No,
Also, Elon just bought Twitter.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 44 billion
They-
this morning.
It's not like solidified yet.
I thought I saw all the reports that it had been a done deal this morning, but
I don't think it's officially solidified
not
yet.
officially signed. Okay.
Yeah.
but
did-
still, the fact that he can just drop 44 billion, and just buy it.
well,
like,
yeah, because I was going to until he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in
You're
talks
just
or
getting
whatever.
your finances.
Why don't you just
in
make a
order.
higher offer,
I didn't
Zach?
even think about it. Well, it's like it sounds like he's more invested in it.
Yeah.
I don't tweet a lot.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It
no.
seems like a good opportunity for you. It's only 46 billion.
Only 46 billion.
If I could spend 44 billion on something I use like Yelp, I would.
You would
Interesting
Yelp.
purchase.
you would spend 44 billion on Yelp?
Have you ever been to maybe a city you've never been to?
It is
No.
Yes.
Clock in restaurant.
So you would look at me in the eye.
Have you ever been really hungry? And you're like, I'm in St. Louis.
No,
in
she
St.
forgets.
Louis.
Where
You're
am I
trying to
gonna
reason
Murder
with a
capital
girl
of the
that
world.
forgets to eat. Okay,
It's
great.
She doesn't even have.
It's not
Yelp
even-
I know you
downloaded.
get it. I know you get it.
I get it.
It's a great app.
You would really spend 44 billion on that app?
Have you ever hung out on Yelp?
The community
What do you
is
do?
strong.
Oh, you're dad.
I would diversify.
Your dad.
it. What?
Your dad. That just makes sense.
Oh, I'm a dad.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
She went from pouring out her heart to just roasting you. And
It's not a roast.
Well,
Being
you
a dad's
said it
an
in a
incredible journey.
She
he said.
can't roast me because the Zyrtec thing, we're
Oh,
listen,
you guys are
are
locked
the
in.
same.
we're
bonded.
so close that we can have an off day.
Yes, we can. Like today, I'm having a very severe allergy day.
Same here.
And I tried a concoction of Zyrtec and Claritin today.
Yeah.
Not my favorite. I'll be honest.
I'll be honest. I was petting your dog when you first got here, and then I somehow touched my
Touched my
face
face.
within the first 10 minutes of this pod. I'm in agony. I've been itching.
terrible.
I think people are going to see a lot of mouth ticks because my tongue is on fire.
It's terrible.
I'm so itchy, and
so sorry.
I'm afraid to go eye region because I'm going to look like
Never go
it's
eye
I was
region.
worried you guys were going to think I was high because my eyes were so bloodshot.
This is basically
yeah.
chemical warfare hot ones. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
scalp feels like it's on fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I see. I get really
Must
itchy.
be the
It's never on
asbestos.
my scalp. It's always on my body. Like at night, I'm just.
I get it, but how fun is scratching? Oh, itching is great.
It's.
Hey, what time are we at? We are really
We're at 145.
Oh, we
okay.
okay.
We have taken too much. Once we get to how great is scratching,
You ever used to?
I can tell Josh is like, so you guys have had
It's
an
like
itch?
I'm in agony. Get me out of
Get me
here.
the fuck out of this bar. All right, we can end it here.
Okay. Well, thank you guys both for so much for coming on. Where can they find you together, and where can they find you individually?
I don't want to be found individually. I only want to be found with Joe.
Male Models, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check us out, Male Models.
Male
We'll
models.
have that.
Male models,
linked
male
below.
models, male models.
We post every week.
We'll have a link below.
A certain day?
Sometimes twice a week. Yeah, every Tuesday, possibly Thursday or Friday.
Sometimes Wednesday if we're busy.
And maybe Thursday if we're both really busy.
Okay, so listen to. Okay, if you stay till the end of the podcast, I always do this thing. DM me your favorite episode of their podcast, Male Models, so I know you guys actually listen to it.
And
okay?
Zach will send you a check of $10.
Well,
Well, I gotta pay for knee surgery. So
You're getting knee surgery?
Tore his
yeah,
ACL.
I tore my ACL, meniscus.
Congrats, Soaks.
Fresh.
Painkillers.
Yeah. Oh,
Josh.
Josh
What?
just likes to live
It's like I'm
vicariously.
a past addict. I can get a.
Not for the last 14 years. But I can be happy for other people.
Thanks.
I can re-up.
Oh yeah, if you want to donate to that, the link to that is in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for joining this
Because
week.
someone stole all of our podcast money. We talked about it last podcast.
Yeah.
You guys heard it.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Thank you so much to Joe and Josh. Josh and Joe.
Thank you guys for having
This
us.
was really fun. Thank you so
for
much.
coming on.
Thank
It's
you.
my thing.
Oh, say goodbye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Indiana. That's Jack Justice. That's Jacob Music. This is
Joe and Josh.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, just go follow us on Dropouts Pod. We'll see you guys next
All right,
week
bye,
for
my
another
little swag
episode.
daddies.
Bye.
There's a little
Awesome.
outro music.
Hey.
She was like, whose line is it anyway?
Is this where we just talk silently?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've got some massive pit stains going on.
Same.